What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video. In today's video we are going to be looking at 5 things that we have learnt from the 2-0 Premier League defeat away from home against Tottenham Hotspur. But before we crack on with this video with all the things that we have learnt, and we have learnt quite a lot from this game, I first want to say that this video is brought to you by OneFootball. This video is brought to you by OneFootball. If you want to download the OneFootball app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of my description, which will take you forward to where you can download this app. The OneFootball app is extremely useful if you are a huge football fan just like me. It provides you with the latest footballing news, transfer news, and the latest videos as well. It is one source of information of where I get my transfer news from. It also allows you to see the latest scores with what's happening in the footballing world. If you just click on a game, including any Manchester City game, it will not only bring up the latest team news, but it will also bring up the latest statistics and keep you up to date with everything happening in that game. If you want to download this app, all you need to do is press the link at the top of the description to stay up to date. Thank you very much to OneFootball for sponsoring this video. If you want to go and download the OneFootball app, then make sure you do that by clicking the link at the top of my description. That will take you to the download page to download the app. Don't forget also to subscribe if you are new around here. Press that red button, press the bell, and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 15,000 subscribers now, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also social media links in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, email also in the description below too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Leave a thumbs up if you do enjoy this video, and most importantly, I am very interested in what you think, and let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Where do you think this went wrong for Manchester City in this game? So let's have a look at 5 things we have learned from this game. Now, number 1, we have learnt that it is all too easy for teams that want to counter-attack and sit deep, that have quality up top, to be able to beat Manchester City, basically. Both goals that we conceded in this game are really weak, and Tottenham defended for their lives. They sat really deep in this game, allowed Manchester City nearly 70% possession, yet going forward managed to muster up 4 shots, just 2 on target, and come away with 2 goals. And you look at that and you think of what Man City's stats are compared with Tottenham's, and you think, how have we allowed that to happen? Why has that happened, and why is it happening on a quite a consistent basis? Any of the top 6 sides, they want to sit deeper against Manchester City, particularly when they're playing at home against us. I find it all too easy to be able to do that, and City are just feeling the impact here of going behind. I feel like the most important thing from this game was Tottenham scoring after 5 minutes and automatically putting ourselves under unnecessary pressure. First goal is absolutely crucial. Look at the 17-18 season, look at the 18-19 season, and how often Manchester City go ahead. Man City like to make, in them seasons, life easy for themselves, but over this last season into this season, we're going behind all too often and making life very difficult for ourselves, and they need to stop doing that. And to do that, they need to be clinical, and teams that have got quality that are parking the bus are doing that, and we are not. Whether that's down to preparation, whether that's down to systems, whether that's down to what we're working on in training, whether that's down to player fatigue, or whether that's down to general quality of the team, decide amongst yourselves, but whatever it is, just isn't clicking at this moment in time. Now, number 2, the thing that we learned from this game is that I think it's becoming more and more evident that Pep needs to change his system. We are feeling the impact, definitely, of not having a pre-season and experimenting and seeing what players can play in what positions and what formations will work and what doesn't, and how the players are reacting to these different systems and different formations and different actions that they've got to provide. I did feel like for this game in particular, Cancelo was too central, and because of that it was kind of nullifying the effect of Bernardo Silva playing in the middle. Yet I felt like just freshening things up and doing a new formation like a 3-5-2, which isn't unfamiliar to Man City under Pep. We have played with that before, and playing with wing backs with the overlap would work better for Manchester City when playing against a team that does want to park the bus like Jose Mourinho. Doesn't take a genius to work out that Jose Mourinho is going to park the bus, play long balls forward, and going to look to hurt Man City on the counter-attack and create a couple of opportunities. In fact, just go and check out my preview. I say them words. I say what's going to happen, yet Man City allowed it to happen, and they weren't clinical enough, and it all comes down to that not being clinical enough. And it's, in my opinion, one of the things that we need to learn is the system and changing the system up. And wing-back's so crucial to a Pep system, so I'm amazed that we're not looking at a 3-5-2. I'm amazed that he's let someone of Angelino's quality leave. What a big mistake that is, having him at left wing-back and putting someone like Cancelo at right wing-back and playing with 3 centre-backs once we've got someone like Nathan Ake back, and going with a back three, sorry, of a Ruben Diaz, a Nathan Ake and an Aymeric Laporte, and then having someone, if we hadn't let Angelino go, sitting at that left wing-back and Cancelo at the right wing-back and playing with 3 central midfielders and most importantly 2 strikers then to help out when things aren't working and creating that space, having Jesus and Aguero starting, or having Sterling playing alongside of Jesus, and things like that. Like I said, again, back to that about pre-season, City feeling the impact of not experimenting with these things, which, yeah, it's just all having a knock-on effect. And it moves us actually really nicely on to the third thing that we learned from this game, which is just that, with the attackers, the Mahrez, the Sterling effectiveness that was there last season just isn't there. And I think Mahrez has been getting criticised all too often by the Manchester City fan base for not hitting the heights that he hit last season, yet Raheem Sterling hasn't done that, and Kevin De Bruyne hasn't either. All 3 of these players are struggling for form, they're struggling for momentum, they look a bit lacklustre, they look tired, they look like exactly what has happened, which is they've had no pre-season, they've had no break, and they're playing during international breaks as well. And it's just it's a real shame. The season was always going to be long and difficult. It's like I said, now's a good time to give these players a rest and change things up and get different formation, just to help allow a break for these players and allow the players that aren't going to the international break or aren't getting as many minutes as what they're hoping for to give them some minutes. Perfect opportunity now coming up against Olympiacos, Burnley, I think it's FC Porto coming up, and is it Marseille? I can't remember which, and also Burnley and Fulham, and then the other last Champions League game. Like, we've got 5 games coming up here where experimentation can be done, because there isn't, in particular them Champions League games, isn't as much pressure, and that's what I would like to see. Yet I don't think that will happen, but that's just my opinion. Now, the 4th thing we learned from this game is substitutions. Why have we not made all our substitutions in this game, considering we just come back from an international break? And why do we make substitutions when it's a bit too late, or just holding back a little bit? We're trailing this game in the second half, we're 1-0 behind, yet Tottenham are the one to make a change first. Why are we not the one to change things up? I'm just wondering, does Pep not like making changes, or is it due to stubbornness? Is it due to not wanting to change things and stuff? I'm really not too sure. Now, I know when Mancini was in charge at Manchester City, he was never scared to substitute any player at any 1 minute that he wanted to. If he felt like it wasn't working and a player needed to come off, they'd come off, and he would make them tactical changes. Or if the player wasn't trying as hard as what he'd like, they'd come off and someone else would come on. And I just feel like we've paid the price a little bit here. I looked at our options, 1-0 behind, Aguero, Sterling, Foden all on the bench, and I'd be thinking around 60 minutes, when we was 1-0 behind before Tottenham bring on Lo Celso, I'm thinking bring these players on, 2 or 3 of these players on. I mean, don't be scared to even make all 3 substitutions at the same time. Just do a bold call, just something to change it up, get them fresh legs on, take off a defensive midfielder, take off a defender, put an extra attacker on, and just force Tottenham onto the back foot. I felt like we were just missing that extra player in the middle at the top, and I felt like two strikers playing in this game could have been crucial, given a period of time to have maybe tried to force our way back into the game. But as it was, it didn't happen, and we were poor in front of goal, and we just couldn't make it work, really. And now, in my opinion, the most important thing we learned from this game at 5 is that we weren't clinical enough, and because of that, we're missing one person in particular. And everyone's been speaking about transfers and signing this player and signing that player. I'm looking beyond that, and I'm looking at the backroom staff, and I'm looking at what's on the bench and helping Pep Guardiola out. And I think we're missing more than anything Mikel Arteta. Pep used to have a system, Mikel Arteta had come in with the ideas, and that was like a match made in heaven. It was working, and it was detrimental for City having great seasons for that 17-18 season and the 18-19 season, and us winning back-to-back Premier Leagues. It's so difficult to do, but the ideas in their partnership worked so well that since Arteta has left, we haven't really got that, and we haven't replaced Arteta well enough, in my opinion. It's poor on my behalf, but it's so much so that it was underwhelming that I don't know who Man City's assistant manager is that's helping Pep Guardiola out. Pep Guardiola's brought in a person that he's worked with before that he likes working with. That's fair enough. Bring him in as a coach though. What we're needing as an assistant manager is someone that's not scared to tell Pep Guardiola this and this isn't working, this and this I think needs to change. Try this, try that, try it for 2 or 3 minutes like Arteta used to. And how often did you see Pep Guardiola, when things weren't going right for Man City, when things did start to go right, him pointing at Mikel Arteta, them two celebrating? You knew that it was Mikel Arteta that was suggesting that was seeing things that Pep couldn't see. And we're missing that impact big time at Man City. And so I feel like an assistant manager is someone that has got these new ideas would work really well. And this assistant manager that we currently have got, like I said, he's acting more as like a coach, hasn't got them ideas. I mean, the previous assistant manager, Tarrant, was also a pretty decent person at seeing things that was happening. I'm fairly sure he's out of a job. Could we not bring him back just to get things going again? Because at the moment I feel like we've got a great system, lots of possession, lots of opportunities can be created, and we're good with the football and the passing stats and how we're working on the second balls and our tackling percentage and everything. Look at all the stats for this game and it's perfect from Man City. It's just that one stat, the most important stat, who's put the ball in the back of the net, that was missing. And I can't even say it was down to City not being clinical. There was loads of blocked shots and everything, just simply down to ideas. We just looked out of ideas and we look knackered, and it's just a whole lot of little factors that are just all adding up, and it's become one big factor, and that's where we're at. We had a similar result last season against Tottenham as well, away from home. Lessons simply haven't been learnt, and it's just very, very frustrating. That, in my opinion, is where it's gone wrong for Manchester City. That's what we have learned from this defeat against Tottenham Hotspur. Would love to know your thoughts in the comments below, so please do let me know where you think this went wrong for Manchester City and what you think we can do to put it right. Don't forget also to leave a thumbs up if you did enjoy this video. Subscribe if you're new around here. Press that red button, press the bell and put your push notifications on. Aiming for 15,000 subscribers. So any help towards that would be much appreciated. Don't forget also social media links in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, then my email is also in the description too. So are my other channels if you want to go and check them out as well. And right at the top of my description is where you can find that link if you want to go and download the OneFootball app. And once more, thank you OneFootball for sponsoring this video. We're down but not out. We've got plenty of games to try and rectify this, but this season's just trudging along and I'm concerned. I am. I know there's going to be lots of people out there that's going to be very positive. There's going to be a lot of people out there that's going to be very negative. What I'm going to say is I'm sitting not in the middle, but I'm concerned right now, and if we don't start getting more consistency with good performances, then I fear for the season. Top 4 minimum aim. We're looking better in the Champions League. That might be a focus where we turn our attention to, but we get a better impact or we'll get a better idea of that in February time into March time, when you get the last 16 and how City are performing when it actually gets to them knockout games rather than the group stages. So we'll see what happens, but like I said, at this moment in time, I am concerned. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. I've been JSGC. We'll be back again very soon for another Manchester City video. Hope you all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. Peace. Ciao for now.